And when you dig behind, which we have the capabilities to do, and to discover the people behind these accounts, there are young persons being recruited to do this.
By who?
It is purely out of good conscience that many of them we don't pursue because they are young people. They are being misled. They are being used for the wrong purpose.
By who? By who? Okay, so I'm going to stop him this again. So this is what I'm saying. If young people who are naive, as the implication in this speech is, that they're being used by these organizations or entities, okay, go after them. Go after them and pursue them. Because by your own words, you're implying that these young people are naive and innocent and not quite fully aware of what they're doing and the impact and implications of what they're doing. So therefore, you decide with your good conscience not to pursue them in any sort of legal or any other way. So if that's the case, then go after the organizers, because all them are going to do is just find another young person to do the same thing. So you're just going to end up picking the low-hanging fruit, but the source of the problem still remains. You have to cut off the head of the dragon, brother. That's just how it is. So this is what I'm saying. This speech don't make no sense. This is laughable. Definitely laughable. So vloggers and bloggers who out there do them response. Boy, you know, you might threaten me. And don't be scared, brother. Your constitutional right protects you, and your democratic right protects you from, you know, in order for you to criticize the government, in order for you to insult the government, in order for you to tease the government, in order for you to jeer and meme the government. This happens all over the world, including the great United States. Look how them do the Republican them when them ready. The amount of stuff that me see all these politicians get jeered and teased, and me see so many comic, you know, even in the Jamaican newspaper them all them like for draw these cartoon characters of these politicians. It's because it's their constitutional right. They're expressing themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's not libelous and it's not defamatory in the case where your reputation is, you know, being brought into some type of disrepute. Now, as long as it's not that, you have to just have a thin skin and be mature and just deal with it, brother. What you need to do is just keep, if somebody's putting out lies about you and you know the opposition and do that, then you put out the truth. Always fight the lies with truth. It's not to silence and quell and censor the voices that you don't like because them say something that offend you. That's not how democracy works. What you do is you say, okay, them over there are a bunch of liars. So you know what we are going to do? Our social media warriors, we're going to start put out the truth and make the people them so we are do what we've done. Not what you have promised, what you pledge, what you're thinking of doing, what you shoulda, coulda, woulda do. We don't want to hear none of that. Put out what you've done, what you have actually done. It's done already. Or what has been done and you're now improving on. That's what we want to see. So you get your social media warriors to combat lies with truth, to combat fake news with real news. That's what you do. Not to silence one half, but at the same time rally your social media warriors them to get into action, but at the same time censor the opposition because, you know, like what them have to say. That's not democracy, that's dictatorship. That's a slippery slope. So anyway, we're going to jump back over to him and let him finish off what he must say. Well, that's my 2 cents on that bit.
They are being used to, because they are native to social media, they are being used to manipulate social media.
Wow.
To comment on posts
you don't say.
Negatively, to spread rumors about people.
That's speculation though.
To do some really nasty things.
Let me just pause him there. That's speculation. Unless you have solid evidence of that, that's speculation. But here's the thing though, Andrew Holness, you are entitled to speculate. You are entitled to your opinions. The Jamaican Constitution and Jamaican democratic rules, you know, provide you that right to do it. So that's all fair. Me not have nothing with what you said. That what you just said so far, me not have no qualms with what you just said so far in that little bit. But that's just you speculating, and you have the right to speculate and assume and draw your own opinion. Continue.
I'm not going to say too much about our capabilities to track it. And we have been tracking. And you're going to see some actions very shortly.
Okay.
For those persons who are using social media.
Okay, so let me stop him right there. So now this is the bit that I, in my opinion, how I feel. This is my feelings. This is my opinion. That what you just say can be construed as borderline threatening and borderline intimidatory. Okay? Now you use the word borderline defamatory and borderline libelous. So I'm going to use the same tone that you're using, and just to relate to you and put it to you, sir, that bit of information that you just put in your speech is borderline threatening and borderline intimidating. So in other words, vloggers and bloggers, we've seen it already where a lot of them, you can tell from their responses and reaction to your video, they're intimidated by the stuff you're saying. They feel threatened by the stuff you're saying. That's a slippery slope for any leader. And from what I'm hearing, you want to be president. No, this doesn't look well. This doesn't bode well at all. Come on, democracy. Remember democracy? The stuff that a lot of us, our ancestors, fought and died for freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And you're now borderline threatening people and borderline intimidating people, because that's the way it come across. You can't sue people for the way them feel. You can't sue people for their opinions. You understand me? So I'm only expressing my feelings and my opinion. And that is what you're saying is borderline threatening and borderline intimidatory. That's what I am saying. That's the way I feel. Now it's up to you to reassure me and vloggers that you don't mean to threaten and you don't mean to intimidate us. You're just expressing yourself, but you need to be able to express yourself in a way where it doesn't come across like you're being a threat, or you're coming across like you're threatening, or you come across like you're trying to intimidate people in any way, or put them under any type of duress in any way. Do you understand me? Otherwise, what you're going to do is just negate everything that you're trying to achieve in your speech.